YouTube, what is y'all doing? Let's jump straight into today's video. What I got in front of me right now is my 2006 Lexus Is350. And since I've gotten this car, I've been kind of dailying this, driving this a lot. And I haven't been giving this car as much of attention as I've needed to, or I should. And that's all gonna change today. Sitting in front of my IS over there, I got a ton of parts, not a ton, like 3 different things we're gonna be focusing on in this video. And I'm super excited because it's some things that I've been needing to do, wanting to do, etc., etc. And I got good deals on all this stuff. Let's just go over there and I'll show y'all what I got and what my plans are. So moving over here to the big mystery box, it's actually 3 boxes, 2 on top and 1 below. The one at the bottom is probably the most exciting thing. The 2 up top are, let's just get into it. So right here, starting with the most simplest thing, these are trunk struts. Anybody who has a 2nd generation IS, you know these things go out and your trunk just wants to fall and chop your head off. I've been having this issue since I've had the car and I just never replaced them. Since I'm taking the trunk apart to do item number 3, which you can probably see down there, I figured it would be a good time to just go ahead and replace these. So that's what I'm doing. That's what these are for. It's pretty simple. Moving that to the side. Right here, we have lower control arms. One for the left and one for the right. I'm sorry, these are lower control arm bushings. These are from the Lexus GSF and RCF. So I was gonna go with like figs or something like that. And I kind of got talking to my brother, and he kind of talked me out of the whole doing the stiff, like polyurethane bushing, saying the car is already stiff. You want to use it as a daily or whatever. You're not autocrossing. You don't need all of that. If you want to stiffen it up a little bit, he said, try these. So I bought them. These were $120 out the door, brand new. Pretty thankful for those. We're going to be installing those with the coilovers. So as you can see, we got coilovers. These are Meagan racing coilovers, brand new in the box. Just look at them, brand new in the box. All of them are in here. That one back there. And these things are clean, never been used before. And just take a good look at them. I purchased these coilovers, brand new in the box, for $500 off of Facebook Marketplace. Some guy was selling them. He said he had a GS or something he wanted to put them on, then he sold the car, and he was stuck with these, and he had it listed for $600. I said, why not? I offered him $500. He accepted, and I went and got them. Now, these were new in the box. The box wasn't even open. It still had the straps around it. And the reason why it's open now, I had to obviously check and make sure there were actually coilovers in the box. And there were. So I got these for an excellent steal. Brand new in the box. These coilovers would probably cost you like $1,100 shipped. I got them for $500, and I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna be converting this car from a monster truck. I've had a decent sized wheel gap on this car for a while, and you know, it's whatever. But I'm gonna be focusing on my IS in this video, and I feel like I've done enough talking now, so let's go ahead and get started. I want to start off by first putting the car on jack stands. All right, as promised, we got the car off of the ground, wheels off, it's on jack stands. I actually it took me a while to get to this. I went and took a nap and some more, but that's beside the point. How I'm gonna approach this job today is, and I don't know if I'm gonna get all this done in this one day. I might take a break from this and come back in the morning. Depends on how complicated it gets. I think I'm gonna start in the back because it looks the most complicated. So I'm gonna start back there and try and get the rears out. So that means I gotta take my trunk apart first. So I'm gonna just take that approach right now. Also, I'm gonna be showing y'all the inside of my trunk. Don't laugh because it's dirty in there. It's probably filthy. All right, YouTube. I think what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and replace the trunk struts, which are located right up here. So I can just put this thing back up. I really don't need this to hang in order to do what I need to do. So I'm gonna just do the trunk struts and put this back together and just be done with that job. Bad news on the struts though, they sent me the wrong part. The ones they sent me don't fit. I should have verified that a couple days ago when I got it. So I'll be sending those back and ordering some new ones. What sucks is that I gotta take this back off again to do it, but I know how to do it now, so it's not a big deal. All right, so jumping right into the next thing we need to do is replace these struts. You can see the strut right there. That's what I'm gonna be replacing. I'm gonna get y'all in a little closer. That's what I'm gonna be replacing. I think it's one bolt at the bottom and the 3 up top. Hopefully these come out pretty smoothly. Like I said, I doubt any of this has ever been taken off before. So we're just praying that it's easy to do.
75 years later.
All right, YouTube, I got the first coil in, as you can see. But I think that's gonna be it for the night. I'm gonna pick this back up in the morning. I'm tired. It's starting to get dark outside, and I need to put some new lights up in my garage. I got plenty of excuses, but we're gonna start this thing back over tomorrow, and I'm gonna start on the other side. It was a pain getting that out. I'm gonna take y'all through some of the things that I had to kind of figure out. You do have to take out more than I wanted to take out, but I'm getting it aligned anyway, so not a big deal. So that's gonna conclude tonight. I'm gonna pick this back up in the morning. All right, YouTube, we back at it again. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. I would be lying if I told you suspension work on cars was fun. Any work on cars really, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of laborious depending on what you want to do. But suspension work usually requires you to get like down and stuff like that. It's not the funnest, and it's kind of taxing on the body. But we are here. We're gonna get this job knocked out today. I'm pretty invested in getting it all knocked out. Last night we got one of the coils installed on the car. I'm gonna show y'all what I did on the other side. I kind of like to have a crash course before I show y'all exactly what I did to get these things installed. And yeah, I'm gonna just show y'all what I did yesterday, and hopefully it'll help somebody, I guess. I don't know. But I'm not gonna waste a lot of time of me recording this. I'm just gonna kind of show y'all the steps that I use and try and knock it out as quick as possible, because I don't want to be doing this all day. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. I don't know how well y'all can see this, but basically there's 3 bolts you're gonna want to take out at the bottom to get this strut out. So you got one right here, one right there, and one right there. This is the control arm. I mean, not the control arm. This is the sway bar link bushing, the actual strut bushing, and this bolt right here is what mounts the hub. So you gotta take those 3 out. Now, once you get those 3 out, it's still gonna be a pain to kind of work this thing out. You do wanna go ahead and apply some type of WD-40 or penetrating oil to those. I'm blessed on this car because there's not, as you can see, a lot of rust, if any rust at all, on this car. I'm not seeing any. So these bolts just came right out for me, which was wonderful. I was able to take them off my impact. If you're not so lucky, you might have to get a breaker bar in here. I don't know what that looks like, and I'm glad I don't. But that's pretty much it down here at the bottom. Of course, you got the 3 bolts up under here. Now, this carpeted wheel liner is gonna have to come out. Only half of it though, because there are 2 tabs on each side of this strut that's kind of mounted to the body of the car. The Meagan Racings, I noticed, don't have that. I'm not sure if it's needed or necessary. I guess not. But those don't have it. But that's pretty much it. That's what you need to take off. Even once you take these 3 down here at the bottom, it's still gonna be kind of hard. What I used was my foot actually, and just kind of like press down on this lower control arm once you get this bolt out and it hangs. And you can usually give yourself a little bit more room to finesse this thing on out. So that's how I'm gonna attack this job, the same way I did the one yesterday. And let's just try and knock it out, y'all. All right, YouTube, we got the old strut out. Got those 3 bolts out down there. The motion I was talking about, where you can kind of like use your foot, like if you can get your foot in here, you can kind of like put it on this lower control arm and press down, and then you can wiggle the strut out that way. That's what works for me. You might want to try something different or know a better way. If so, let me know. So the next time I ever do this, I can be familiar with it. Anyway, I'm finna get that one installed. Unless you got super long arms, you're gonna need another person to run the bolts in while you hold it. So I got some help. Anyway, I'm gonna get this side knocked out and then we're gonna start on the front. All right, YouTube, pretty much got everything back together and tightened down. But yeah, that's pretty much how you get the rears off. It's the same process for the other side. Just knock those 3 bolts out, and you should be able to get this out. It's not too hard. It is a little, I'm lying, it's kind of irritating. It's not the easiest thing because you're going to be laying down most of the time trying to get those bolts out and whatnot. But got the bags done. As you can see, my car is filthy because I've been touching it with my dirty hands. Now, moving on to the front, got to get those knocked out. I think these are going to be a lot easier because I think all you got to do is take this out. And as you can see that this strut right here is leaking. And I knew this was leaking, and this is why I wanted to go ahead and like change these. But you can see the oil coming down. So it's just about that time. So we're going to be replacing it. Like I said, I haven't noticed any like bad vibrations or anything like that coming from the car. It's been driving pretty well. But you want to get on top of these things as soon as possible if necessary or if you can. So that's what we're doing. So I'm gonna just knock this front out. Like I said, top bolt, you take this out, take the bolt off, and then you should be able to take this out and move this forward. And I'm pretty sure there's just one bolt at the bottom that you need to take out. You might have to remove this sway bar link on here too. Not sure yet. All right, YouTube. All 4 corners are done. I even got the lower control arm bushings in there. The old ones didn't look that bad. I don't know where they are at this point. I just took them off and set them somewhere. There goes one. They didn't look that bad. Starting to crack a little bit, but went ahead and got them replaced. Ah, there's the other right there. This is the passenger side. So yeah, I went ahead and got those replaced. So everything's done now. I went over, made sure everything was tight. So at this point, I'm getting ready to put the car back on the ground. I didn't record a lot of me doing this because this job was, excuse my French, kicking my ass. Cause it's just, I don't have a lift or anything. So I'm on my back most of the time. And it's hard to record and get stuff done. And since I'm doing something so labor intensive, I was more focused on knocking the job out. But you can see all 4 corners. I think there's gonna be like a couple inches drop. We'll see. Maybe 2 inches. We'll see what happens. I took pictures of before. And you can see they all in there. I took pictures of before. I'm gonna take pictures after with the car on the ground, and we're just gonna see what it looks like. All right, YouTube, she's back on the ground. I took some before and after pictures so y'all can see that drop a little bit better. And I put the car, like the dampening on the coilovers, I set it to all hard. So I guess you can say that means I got my hard on. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the results all the way around. It's probably like a 2-inch drop, like you'll see in the pictures. But since I've already reacted to it, I like how it looks. I've invited somebody else to look at my car and see what they think. Who's behind door number 1? Me. Come on.
I'm scared.
Let's see what you think about my car. Come on.
Oh, dang.
You can tell.
That's low.
You think so? It's lower than a GS?
I guess not.
So you can get a finger in there, right? But the GS running some wider tires in the front. You can't get a finger in there?
Low. Yeah, I can get it.
And this, I don't think it's settled yet. I haven't driven the car, so. You don't like it?
I'm probably not gonna be driving because you gonna be like, don't scrape the driveway and stuff.
I mean, you obviously don't scrape, but like, I mean, you kind of understand that like when you go a little bit lower, like you run the risk of rubbing a little bit somewhere.
You not worried about this rubbing?
It's not. It shouldn't rub.
Okay.
Nah, that shouldn't contact it. All that stuff came. All of this junk came out of my fender liner when I took it off.
Hey, I feel like this low, dude.
I don't think it's lower than a GS.
I guess we gonna be scooting around on the ground.
I put the dampening on hard in all four corners. So I was telling YouTube, I think that means I got my hard on. All right, YouTube. First drive in the IS, I had to go in and take a shower and everything because I was filthy and I didn't want to drive the car like that, even though the car is filthy on the outside. Anyway, we're gonna see how this goes. It still starts, so it works. Ooh, it's time to see if we scrape. You think we're gonna scrape?
No.
Okay. I like this lip on this car a lot better than the one on the GS, so I'm gonna cry. Okay, we good. Not really sure what I should be feeling right now. Also, y'all gotta get a wheel alignment too after you do this type of stuff. I'm definitely gonna get one done here in the next week or so. The car feels about the same. I'm not noticing anything like other than the fact that I feel like I'm sitting a little lower. Okay, you can, all right, I'm starting to tell a little bit. Like, we kind of like doing this a little bit. So it's a little stiffer in terms of like the suspension. The handling still feels just as good. Now, I don't know if any of y'all have ever driven the like second generation Is350 or IS in general. It's kind of a stiff car, like from the factory, it's pretty stiff. So I'm not noticing anything right now that's like really dramatic, I guess. All right, so those mounts do something. Look at this.
Okay.
I feel like I can take some really fast corners in this car. Alright, YouTube, I've been driving around for like a minute. I came through like some kind of back road twisties, whatever you want to call them. And I'm not really noticing a difference in terms of the suspension in which the turning does feel a little bit more solid, but like I said, these cars were stiff to begin with. I'm wondering if this car drove like it had coilovers on it already, so like putting coilovers on the car did nothing but just lower the car, and it still like handles and drives the same way. But like nonetheless, it does feel good. This car's always been kind of thrilling to drive, so I do need to do my brakes. Can't have too much fun when you got to share the road with rogues. So. All right, YouTube, that's gonna conclude this video. It's been a couple days, so I've been driving the car around. The upgrades I did were phenomenal. The car, you can like literally throw the thing and throw the car in the corners, and it's just handling really well. I'm really proud of the results. But yeah, it's been a couple days. I did get my trunk struts ordered, and they came and I installed them, so now my trunk is working properly. And I got the brakes for the rear, so I'm gonna have to jack it back up and throw those brakes on there. But for the most part, I think this worked out well. I'm really proud of how it turned out. I would recommend these coilovers and upgrading your lower control arm bushing, on your Lexus IS if you have one. But that's gonna conclude this video. If y'all like content, want me to drop more, want to hear more stuff, like, comment, subscribe. And that's gonna be it for this video, y'all. Peace.